Welcome to an episode of Meeting of the GoldMinds, a brand new podcast hosted by a group of degenerates who all root for the only professional basketball team in Los Angeles that's worth talking about. We'll talk about the good, the bad, and the really fucked up shit. We do things differently on this podcast. Don't worry, we will cover all things Lakers. We'll have your analytics, we'll talk salary cap, we'll talk about the rookies, the old guys, and even the front office. We're also going to talk pop culture, music, film, and if it's a funny story, even some politics. But our goal is to always make this shit entertaining. So like the late great Dr. Buss used to say there in all those nights in the Forum Club, it's showtime, bitches.
Yo. What's up, my good people? You guys already know this is Born Rebel, aka Zen. I am the proprietor of Zen's Infused Treats, and gotta welcome you to episode 13. We are now in the teenage years. Episode 13 of Purple and Gold Mines. And yeah, we got lots of stuff going on. We are recording this on the first day of October, the greatest month ever. It's pumpkin spice season. It is Libra season. It is Halloween season. All right, Tony, I see that face about pumpkin spice. We will get there in a minute, but it is also 10 days from my birthday. So October is my favorite month of the year. I love it. I am feeling good. You can follow me at Rebel He Is on Twitter/X app. But I don't do this alone. I got the PGM crew with me. Got the coach, KB Brown. You can follow him at KBBRWN22 on Twitter. KB, what's up, brother?
Not much.
How are you, man? What's on your PGM?
Man, a lot of things happen in the NBA, so looking forward to talking about it.
All right. Hey, we got Tone back with us. Last month, it was her birthday. Virgo season? You're on mute.
Virgo season.
Virgo season.
Yes, sir.
Yep. She still ain't sober. But you know what? Happy belated birthday to Tone. And you can follow her on Twitter at T-O. And that's with two N's, 3 A's, and 4 Y's. Tone, how are you doing, darling?
I'm good.
Happy belated birthday. How was the festivities for you? The month-long festivities.
Very much so. Let me tell you, from the 1st to the 31st, and September only got 30 days. I'm in it to win it. Okay, I'm only getting older, so you got to kind of live it like it's your last.
Hey, life is good. What's on your PGM? What's on your purple and gold mine?
I think I speak for everyone when I say the off season isn't over. The off season isn't over till the fat lady sings. That's what's on my PGM mind today.
All right. And the newest member to the PGM crew. It is long overdue. We got playoff mode. He was in off-season mode, but now he's in playoff mode. We got lots to talk about. You can follow him at retro. What's the rest?
D3X with Dex with a 3.
All right, you heard him loud and clear. Welcome to the crew, fam. He's also one of the co-hosts. Last week we debuted Purple and Gold Post. Originally it was supposed to be cover 3, but you know what? Someone already took it. So it is called Purple and Gold Post. It's all football. You know what time it is. He's one of the 3 co-hosts with KB and the Context King. Brother, how are you, man? What's on your PGM?
Doing good, man. It's I've kind of been locked into football season, obviously. Check out Purple and Gold Post for sure. My team, the Bengals, have had a rough start to the season. Still trying to stay positive, but the basketball with all the moves that have been happening recently is coming in and taking some of the shine away from football. So excited to talk about it.
Absolutely, and we're about to get into that in a second. And you know what? I will say this about the Bengals because I am invested because I have Jamar Chase for fantasy football. But I know Joe Burrow got his money. He got his money. But I need, based upon how he's playing right now, I need him to kind of have his wardrobe reflect his play. I need his wardrobe to be a little humble. Like, like, hey, can we get a suit with just one color? Like, just like kind of humble yourself with the wardrobe. Now, once you get past 500, bring out the floral.
Yeah,
I'm with it. Bring out the zebra
yeah.
prints, but when you 1 and 3, you leave the pastels at home. I'm just saying.
I, I see what you're saying. Coach Prime famously said, you look good, you play good, but Burrow hasn't really been living up to that. So, like you said, maybe he needs to dial it back down and go back to the basics a little bit, and he can
Yeah.
remember how to play football since he's forgotten.
Humble yourself. Humble yourself. But you know what? What's on my PGM is like, look, all right, I'm not trying to advocate people to be criminals, but I know crime doesn't pay. And there's no point of stealing. All right. And if you can't pay for something, you shouldn't. If you can't pay for it, don't take it. All right. But last night I watched that Canelo and Charlo fight, right? Through an illegal hookup. Didn't pay a goddamn thing, right? But I still want my motherfucking money back. Because I still want my money back. All right.
I felt like I got robbed as well.
I feel like it's like you know something's bad when you feel you got robbed for something that was free. And like, first of all, like the first round, they were just like, all right, we're not, let's just get to know each other. No need to throw punches. It's like you remember a while back. I know this is not the football show. You remember years ago when Dak Prescott was doing that drill where it was like he was like twitching on the field, like
Yeah.
he was.
Mhm.
That's how they looked in the first and second round. It's like you want to throw a punch, but you don't. Like they was doing like this little weird shoulder thing, and it was just like, just sitting there. It was just like, yeah. So like, I'm still looking for a refund. I don't know if I asked the pay-per-view providers that I stole from, but I need a refund. For what I should have paid. Yes, give me back the money that I should have paid. So yeah, but you know what? We got a lot to talk about. Dame, 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 Dame. Dame will be invading the 414. If you don't know, that's the area code for Milwaukee. The whole summer, the whole summer it was supposed to be Miami. That's where he wanted to go. And in the last week, we started to hear whispers about it might be Toronto. All of a sudden, the Hornets came out of nowhere. We just start hearing rumblings from different teams in the Eastern Conference. I think at one point, there was maybe a whisper about Brooklyn. Philly was always a long shot because of the whole James Harden situation. We'll get to that later. But he ended up in Milwaukee. Dame and Giannis. He got traded like, playoff. Break down that trade. Let folks know exactly what he got traded for. I know it was Jrue Holiday and Grayson Allen, but what was the rest of the pieces in that trade?
Yeah, so obviously Milwaukee lands the biggest part of the trade piece, Dame. Portland ends up acquiring Jrue Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, Tumani Kamara, a 29 unprotected Milwaukee first, and an unprotected pick swap from Milwaukee in 2028 and 2030 as well. And then lastly, Phoenix picks up Yusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nazir Little, and Keon Johnson.
Yes, crazy. Phoenix got better. Portland, obviously, we're going to get to more elements because, folks know Jrue Holiday got traded to the Celtics. We'll get to that later. But, I'm going to ask everyone, start with KB. KB, you heard about this trade, man. What's your thought? What's your first thoughts when you heard about the trade, man?
Finally, it's over. I was tired of hearing about him getting traded. He's been, and I know a lot of people have already said this is old, but he's been seen saying, PG talking about PG running from the grind, other players running from the grind, trading, trying to go somewhere else. And what do you know? He does it too. So now he's gone with Milwaukee. He better put up numbers. That's all I know. So I'm happy it's over. Onward and onward and forward.
Tone, Dame to the Bucks.
Millie Bucks, big Millie Bucks. They kind of automatically become the favorite in the East to me. They're kind of tied with the Celtics with the move that they just made for Jrue Holiday, which we'll get to later. But I'm with KB. I'm happy that it's over. I'm low-key happy it wasn't Miami. I hate to be honest, low-key, but I am happy for Dame to finally, to me, get a real chance at championship aspirations.
Playoff. I know you broke down that trade, man. Like you break down that trade, you see everything that happened. How you feeling about it?
I mean, like KB was saying, we've been waiting a long time for this to happen, just kind of based on Dame and what's been said in the media and different insiders sharing information and updates. And it was, definitely the last domino, to kind of fall that we've been waiting for. I mean, I think obviously it's a really good move for Milwaukee. I am interested, because I'm interested to see that's not where Dame wanted to go. I think it definitely was like a consolation prize. His preferred destination was Miami, so I'm interested to see. Obviously it's the best chance, like Tone said, for him to actually win a championship. But does he really want to be there? And the optics. Previously we heard rumors, that he didn't want to. He had the opportunity to potentially join the Lakers. And he didn't like the optics of joining, Bron and AD. How does he feel about the optics of joining, Giannis in Milwaukee? And I think it kind of gets into a larger conversation about loyalty. Dame showed a lot of loyalty to the Portland organization. I think he trusted them to move him to where he wanted to go, his preferred destination. Obviously, that's not how it ended up. So, loyalty between a player and an organization, and ultimately this is a reminder that it's a business, and, organizations are going to do what's in their best interest at the end of the day. And I am also interested to see how the chemistry kind of gels between them, because Giannis strikes me as a person that is very loyal, especially to his teammates, and he won a championship with Jrue. And from everything's been reported, he wasn't. The team didn't make him aware that they were putting Jrue or making Jrue available in the trade, because they didn't want him to veto it or voice his opinion. So, I'm interested to see how the team actually ends up gelling overall.
No, that's man. You make a lot of great points. I think first, Giannis and Dame, they've been so open about wanting to play with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Pause. Wanting to be teammates for first pause already. Wanting to be teammates for the longest time. And now they never said where. They never said, oh, what's up? Bring me to Milwaukee, or what's up with Portland. It was just always like, hey, let's definitely be teammates. You brought up a great point about the loyalty. I think there's blame to go on both sides with Dame and in the Portland Trailblazers. For folks that don't know, the Trailblazers is owned by Judy Allen. She is the sister of the late co-founder of Microsoft, Paul Allen.
Mm.
He passed away a few years ago. Left the team to her. She doesn't have a basketball background, which is fine. You hire the people to make those decisions. But at the same time, it's like you knew that the team was going through some type of transition. And then the desire to wanting to be competitive. Dame never had a superstar player. Like the best player he had was CJ McConnell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, okay, you're not going to get far with that. I think the timing of him demanding the trade was suspect. The fact that he demanded the trade on the second day of free agency, it just seems off. Like, wait, hold on. They drafted Scoot Henderson with a number 2 pick, and they didn't trade him. They didn't trade the second pick to bring in some veterans to build out a squad. So why wait so long? Why wait until free agency already started? Because we know how it is. The big moves happen within the first few hours. Like we had within the first 24 hours of free agency, we had like half of our work was already done within the first 24 hours. And so for Dame to request a trade at that time, it just seemed weird. So I think there's blame to go on both sides. Obviously, he's in a winning situation. So even though he didn't go to Miami, and Milwaukee is the polar opposite of Miami, I think he got put in a good situation. Yeah. Excuse my noise in the background. Yeah. Anyway, guys, fucking noise. Anyway, gotta love life. KB, what's anyone disagree with what I'm saying?
No, not really. No, not at all. Like I mean, I think it's good that he's on a new team. Now it's just all those words you were saying. You better produce. That's it. Period.
Yeah, if he doesn't make it happen now, because I mean we've seen him have these moments in the playoffs, especially thinking back to that series against Oklahoma City Thunder, where I feel like Dame time kind of really took off. But yeah, both for him and Giannis, if they're not able to make this work, then I think it's going to definitely be a mark on both of their legacies long term. So
That's a good point.
I
That's a
hate
good
to
point.
burst everyone's bubble. I just don't think it's going to happen in the first year, especially with the level of competition that's around them. Not only in their own conference, but once they actually, hypothetically reach the finals, a lot of the competition that's in the West is pretty fierce. We can't count Denver out. I will say it's unlikely they repeat. Rooting for the purple and gold, of course, but either it's the Lakers, either it's Denver, either it's Phoenix that they see. Those are formidable opponents for a new team, 2 new players, 2 new star players to gel together that quickly, not to count out Chris Middleton as well. Still stay as defensive minded as they were with Jrue. And I think they kind of even fell off a little bit last year. Don't quote me. I don't know, according to numbers per se, but it's again, like I said, I just don't think our expectations should be super high, but I don't doubt that they reach it during their tenured period. Barring some good health, Dame, at least I feel like Giannis, I'm confident he'll stay pretty much healthy. He's good for a good 70 games, worst case scenario. But Dame staying healthy is the key. I think you can still get a good 3-4 year try out of this thing with those two as a duo.
Well, I'm glad that you brought up Giannis. So, because Lakers, we got LeBron and AD. Bucks now have Dame and Giannis. Dame and Giannis, the best duo in the NBA.
I mean, on paper, they complement each other really well. I mean, Giannis is definitely a top 3 NBA player. I think, depending on who you ask. Some may would say top 2, but Giannis and his inability to really excel from the perimeter, it kind of limits his game to a certain degree. But just his physicality and just his ability to get to the rim hasn't really mattered. But I think especially in that Miami series, that Miami playoff series, where he was getting fouled and his inability to make foul shots, and it definitely hamstrings that offense to a certain degree. So now having Dame, it makes it that much more difficult to just focus your entire defense on Giannis as far as building a wall and keeping him from getting to the basket. So, I mean, they complement each other really well. I mean, and if Dame plays up to the standard he's kind of, created for himself, they're going to be formidable for sure. I'm still assuming health is, 100%. I'm still taking Bron and AD. Obviously I'm biased, but I mean, they're definitely up there for sure. I put them a top 3 duo for sure in the NBA right now.
Tone?
I definitely agree with playoff. I was gonna add that for a lot of the haters out there, please don't let the offensive production for LeBron and AD and last year's playoffs fool you. If they were on and they were clicking, they easily would have ran away with that title. It's so funny how I think it was Kendrick that put out a list for the top 5, and it's like Giannis and Dame was first, whom we haven't even got to see play. Then it was like JT and JB, you know what I'm saying? And no offense to JB, you saw somewhat of a decline, or his, I would say deficiency start to rear its ugly head, towards the latter part of the playoffs. One person, like I said, one duo that stays consistent, like I said, is AD and Bron, despite the fact they just had like a terrible, somewhat offensive output. Bron sold more than AD as far as last year's playoff. But I'll be honest, I'm not going to necessarily put them number 1. I have to kind of give the nod to Jamal and Joker. And that's one thing I love about these duos, though. It's so crazy. How can you judge it? It's like either you have the Dame and Giannis who offset each other, like playoff said, the defensive juggernaut and the offensive machine. That Dame is a killer, man. Then you have AD and Bron, like I said, both of them together defensively, unstoppable. To me, they probably outrank those 4 or 5 top duos that you have. Like I said, if they could just kind of get it to going offensively, especially Bron with his jump shot and his perimeter shooting. AD as well with his perimeter shooting. You have going back to Joker and Jamal. Jamal, when he's on, you've seen the way he can take over a series. You've seen the way he can take over a game, like the bubble, him and Donovan going back and forth. But Joker is just the creme of the creme. You know what I'm saying? He's the peak. So to me, that kind of knocks any talk for the number 1 spot. Joker just holds that much weight that I can see Bron and Giannis being like a 1A. Excuse me. Dame and Giannis versus Bron and AD being like a 1A, 1B conversation.
KB, where you at?
For me, they should be considered as probably one of the top 5 duos in the league. The reason why I'm not putting them as the top or the best of the best is because they haven't done anything. I don't go by how they look on paper. I go by what I see. Not even at bird's eye view, but more of like just watching the game. We got to watch them play. We have to see them develop. And my biggest it's just it's hard to imagine them being in there anyways, because they just have 2 different types of games. Like Giannis is used to running the show and Dame's used to running the show. So what's it gonna look like when Dame wants to do his it's Dame time ISO game, and Giannis is like, give me the ball, I can get to the rack. So it's kind of hard to just picture it. But if you want to say as of now, quote unquote, they're good. They're one of the top duos. I'm not putting them up there because they haven't shown me anything. But yeah, they're up there. But they're not number 1. Not in my list. Yeah. Not by far.
Zen, can I say something real quick?
Of course.
Yeah, just to make it clear, it's like Tone said, just to respect to last season's champions, you have to give it to Jokic and Jamal Murray. I feel like as being the top duo right now, based on what AD and Bron have done together. I feel like you have to put them at 2, especially Bron and AD are both. They're both able to take over games on the offensive and defensive ends. So you have to give them the edge there at number 2, I feel. But on paper, I feel like, obviously we have to see how it works out and how they gel on the court. But Dame and Giannis, I feel like can be a formidable duo, and I put them at 3.
Hmm. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna be in the minority here. Murray, he he elevated his game 10 steps in the playoffs. Um, I know Bron and AD. That's the home team. Um, I think the team won't. I think the duo won't be as needed because of the team that's been around them. The duo won't be as needed.
True.
It won't fall so heavily on their shoulders. Um, I think last season one of the things that we saw a lot, it was either a Bron game or an AD game, and it was like back and forth. We saw where there's certain times where it's just like, all right, if one is cooking, the other one's fall back. With Dame and Giannis, I know, I hear KB. No, they haven't done anything yet, and I am not going to be one of those people to say this is Shaq and Kobe. No, I'm not going to say that. But you have a very dominant big man, and you got you have a guard that's a killer.
Yeah.
It sounds familiar. I think their skill set complements each other, so like they won't clash. Like when it comes to like placements on the court, where their spots are, um, they won't clash. It's like it's the yin and the yang. So I think I think the best, you know, I think they'll finish the season as the best duo in the league. But hey, they haven't done shit yet. We shall see.
Zen,
I'm
if I
I'm
might
excited.
quickly add,
Yeah,
if I might quickly add, don't forget too, we had a young Dame with LaMarcus Aldridge, and their games were pretty good. They complemented each other pretty well too. Although I would consider maybe LaMarcus more of the alpha again because he was a bit of a vet compared to Dame before his exit to
right.
Portland. But to
Hmm.
me, they played pretty well together too. But like you said, it's just that I don't think their games will, get in the way per se. I think I also kind of agree with playoff and Giannis's like tone. I think he doesn't mind necessarily. It won't be taking the back seat per se, but when it's time to kill, Dame is going to go for a punch, and a W is a lot greater or better than whatever media or fan accolade or praise you may receive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real. And that too, man, that pick and roll is going to be nasty.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to
That's going
guard.
to be
Yeah.
nasty.
Yeah.
um, but you know what? As much as we thought that was the big news of the last few days, going into October, no, nope, nope, nope. The last day of September ended with a bang. Jrue Holiday, obviously, you heard playoff. He got traded. He was part of the trade to Portland for Dame. Had to match the contracts, but it was safe to say everyone already knew he was going to go to some type of contender. It was just going to be there for a while, and Portland would be able to get more assets for him. Just within the 24 hours, it was every team was rumored. Lakers were rumored. Heat were rumored. Um, Clippers were rumored. That was a big one. Philly as well. At some point there was whispers of a 3-team trade that would get Harden to the Clippers and Jrue to Philly, which we're going to talk about the shit show that's happening in Philly in a little bit. But Jrue Holiday got traded. Actually, it was this morning, first day of October. I'm sorry, excuse me. He got traded. Jrue Holiday got traded to the Celtics. Fuck Boston always. Tone. What were all the elements of that trade?
Yes, Jrue Holiday now officially bleeds green, like Zen said. We knew it wouldn't be long. I didn't think it would be this quickly, but they made it happen. Shout out to Brad Stevens. He doesn't play. He's trying to build a championship contender while JT still is hot. So Celtics received Jrue Holiday. The Blazers received Malcolm Brogdon, Robert Time Lord Williams, a 2024 first round pick, and a 2029 unprotected first round pick. So good haul for the Celtics. Let's see what they could do with Jrue.
Um, I was surprised. I don't think I was surprised by this trade. Really. Um,
Wait, Zen, why? What surprise? Why surprise as a choice word?
you got you lost Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
You lost Marcus Smart. You trade him with Porzingis. Uh, you got Jalen Brown, who could be your primary playmaker. It just it the the Celtics, to me, they depleted their roster. They
Yeah.
took away their depth.
Yeah.
Like Robert Williams. I know
Yeah,
he was
big
injured.
loss.
Big loss. Injured. He's also your most. He's also your only athletic big man.
Hmm.
Like
True.
Al Horford, as much as he hits clutch shots, he is a mature veteran that you want in your locker room, positive presence. Um, and he has a
Wait,
very
Zen,
consistent jumper. He cannot
I have
run.
I have a joke for you in response to what you were just saying. Do you know I think they just signed Wenyan Gabriel? So that's their Time Lord replacement. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh yeah, I forgot he is 7 feet again, right?
Oh yeah. He magically,
Exactly. Thank you, KB.
he grew apparently. So
Thank you, KB.
So one of the most racist cities
oh yeah.
in America, they signed the blackest All right. Never mind.
I knew
That's a
you
whole
was
nother
gonna
that's a
say
whole
that. Oh
nother
my
subject.
god.
That's a whole nother subject. Shout out Wenyan. Oh, and
Oh
real
god.
quick
Zen.
about the Bucks. I do want to add a few hours ago. Campaign. He signed with the Bucks. Yeah, campaign is going with the Bucks. But yeah, look, I think the Celtics is better than they were last week, but I do not feel that they are better than they were last season. They got when they lost Marcus Smart, they lost their defensive presence, their best defender. They defensive player of the year. Want to add that. They lost their emotional leader, but they also lost the person that held Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum accountable to say, yo, this like you guys need to pass the fucking ball. Like he held them accountable and he didn't give a fuck. You replace him with his polar opposite, like Kristaps Porzingis, who is trash on defense. He clashes with his teammates, as in he has like this a weird personality. If we keeping it real, he's injury prone. So, and then now he's expected to play. He most likely will play the five. So, Tone, what's up? Like, what are you feeling about this?
Okay, so I have to say I like your quote verbatim. What did you say? They might have gotten better, but
They're
they're
better
not
than
better
they
than
were
last
last week, but not better than they
year.
were last season.
Right. So let me give you some of NBA's projected starting fives for the Celtics, right? So they have Drew at the one, Jalen at the two, JT at the three, Kristaps and Al Horford to round up your front court, right? Some of your key reserves, I guess they can say, Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Luke
Ooh,
Cornett.
ooh,
Snap.
Good
And
question,
Sam
man.
Hauser. And then, like I
ooh.
said, I guess you have woo, he not playing. He not playing. So what I mean, I get what you're saying. Yes, they have depleted their bench, but what I can give Brad credit for is I think releasing Marcus, who just was not going to elevate you anymore. To me, if I have an opinion, I'm still with the split JT and JB up, but I'm hoping instead of you need Marcus Smart to kind of, tap your hand and kind of put you back in place, it's time for JT and JB to grow up. And at the end of the day, I hope they do what's best for their team. Either it's offensively, defensively, playmaking wise, et cetera, et cetera. So yes, you don't have Al Horford is technically still their vet, and he's been with them for a long time. Remember, he had them like 17, 18-ish, then jumped to Philly and then came back. So I'm hoping he's still a valid voice in the locker room. But I also believe in Chris Stapps as well. So now there's three of you guys offensively that have to make decisions going down the stretch to say, I'm not going to be selfish, like we talked about Dame and Giannis, and go with either the hot hand or who's making a winning play. Like I said, they're replacing what they had in Marcus with Jrue. And honestly, I'm taking Jrue over Marcus. I only like Jrue over Marcus because Jrue shows more poise to me as to where Marcus plays with a lot more emotion. You know what I'm saying? And I get that. That's no knock against Marcus.
Right.
I think that, to me, especially as far as his leadership, pays dividends in Memphis as opposed to Celtics. But I'm not going to tank their whole season. I'm not going to poo-poo on them. That yes, their their depth needs to improve. But let's see, as far as how the season plays out.
Look, I'll just say this before getting to KB. When it comes to Al Horford and Porzingis, you got one guy who can't jump and then the other one can't run, and I don't know which one is which. So, just saying.
I
KB,
almost
how
spit
you?
out my drink.
Hey, spit take. KB, how you feeling about this trade with what the shit-eating Celtics did?
Like Zen said, we don't speak about the Celtics like that because I'll never give them the respect that's the respect's supposed to be given. No, none, never. I don't know who's Boston. I don't know where they at. Yeah, could care less for them. What I can talk about is the player that is going to Boston. Drew Holiday. He was traded over there. He was a part of that three-team trade, right? I'm pretty sure that three-team trade that they were supposed to finally complete. We're trying to find where he was going to go. Now with that, Jrue Holiday, I don't care what anybody says, he is probably one of the best on-ball guards that can guard man-to-man that I've seen in today's game. I don't they gave the defensive player of the year to Marcus Smart. That's cool. I still don't think he's a better one-on-one guard. He's a straight up man-to-man, one-on-one guard that can
Hello,
guard.
KB.
I can guard somebody like Jay Holiday can. Just based on the eye test. Just watching it, nah. Going to the Boston Celtics, he does you one better. One, I think he'll definitely play better on the defensive end, and two, he's a little bit taller. I think from Smart. I think it was Smart. So I think he's going to help the Celtics out. The thing that I'm just worried about is their bench. So I'm just wondering how that's going to go. But yeah, I mean, I think you guys mentioned somebody by the name of no, I don't even know his name no more. He's on their bench. Luke, what was it? Kermit?
Cornette.
Kermit.
Ooh, I called him Kermit. Luke
Kermit the
Cornette.
Frog.
Sorry, they got Luke Cornette. They have Derek White, who they're shifting over to the bench, which will be pretty dope. They have Pritchard, which I kind of feel bad for him because he's not going to get a lot of playing time with Derek White going to the bench. And I don't know anybody else that they have on that bench besides those three. So other than that, I'm happy for Jay Holiday. The only thing that that the Bucks made the mistake of is you just gave the Celtics another piece. So that's a little bit weird to me because I'd never trade within my own conference. I just wouldn't. But then again, I'm happy for Jay Holiday, and I hope he's successful. But then again, just hitting his own personal accolades, not winning and stuff with the Celtics.
So I actually think before we get to to playoff, I will actually believe. I think that you know what, this was a double win for the Bucks because I think you get better by getting Dame. Okay, because you still got Chris Middleton, you still got Bobby Portis, you still got you just got Campaign, and you still got Brooke Lopez. So you get better by getting Dame. But then also by the Celtics getting Jrue, they depleted their depth.
Yeah.
So like playoff, how you feel? Like you with me on that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've seen, one of the things that really separated the Celtics from the rest of the East was their depth. And that move, like you just said, has basically taken all of that away. And don't get me wrong, Porzingis probably had his best all-around year last season, especially on the defensive end. I don't know exactly what the numbers were as far as rim protection goes, but Robert Williams was by far their most athletic interior defender, and they shipped him away in order to get Jrue. And so I am interested to see how they're going to approach that. I don't think, Porzingis definitely adds to their offensive capability, but I don't think he's magically going to become a world class.
He's not a unicorn.
Exactly. So he's not just going to become all world interior defender over the course of an off season. I just don't see it. And so, you lost the heart and soul of your team, to acquire Porzingis by, shipping Marcus Smart to Memphis. And this was their way of trying to get that point of attack defender back, especially at the guard position. But yeah, it cost them quite a bit as far as their depth goes. So no, I completely agree with you on that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So look, with the moves, look, I know we're gonna next few weeks before the season starts in a next set of episodes of meeting of the gold mines, we're really gonna break down the Lakers roster. Rud, I feel really good about this squad. We have Denver. Yes, Phoenix is there. Um, there is I don't not no even point of mentioning the Clippers because they're just gonna clip
Toilets!
but
Cannot
I
wait. I'm looking forward to that roster or breakdown.
yeah, we're gonna break it down. But hey, if Lakers get to the finals and the stars align, we got to meet someone in the East. Who you guys, meet someone in the finals from the East? Best team in the East right now. I know no one has done anything, but I think it's just a two-team race in the East. Philly looks dysfunctional as fuck. Um, but who you guys think as of right now best team in the East? I'm taking the Bucks.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
I'm going Millie too.
Why y'all gotta make me do this? Really? All right, man.
What the
I'm
people
going
want.
with Boston. I'm going with Boston because one thing we don't know,
Wow.
we don't know what the Bucks are going to do. They look nice on paper. I need to see them battle it out. And mind y'all, who the heck was just in the finals? Let's pay them some respect, okay? Like
It's
the
not
Heat,
disrespect. It's
the
not
Heat,
disrespect.
the Heat are still there, and they're probably one of the best defensive teams, regardless of who the Bucks and the Celtics have.
But
Just saying.
KB. So, and it's Pat Riley has developed this reputation for being the Godfather and being able to make things happen and make things shape. And this offseason has just been an absolute disaster for Miami. Not only do you not get Dame, you lose Gabe Vincent, you lose Max Struss, you don't sign Christian Wood, you don't really sign anyone in free agency. And you're just basically just sitting there like hat in hand, like haven't made any major improvements to your roster in the
Wait,
offseason.
playoff. They got
Right.
RJ Hampton.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, the missing part. That's really the missing piece.
Right.
That's cold.
Exactly.
That's cold.
Thank you for reminding
That's
me.
cold.
Thank you for reminding me. So yeah, this I don't really feel like this offseason could have gone any worse for Miami. And yeah, man. I mean, Pat Riley, I feel like his reputation as a front office executive, it has to take a hit with the way things have developed so far as the season goes.
Very true. All right, look, this is what I'm going to say. I'm just saying I'm not just going to leave them out because I got to give them their due respect. They did make the finals. They might have lost very easily to the Nuggets, but I'm not going to go ahead and knock that. I just think with the addition of Hami Jaquez and them letting some of the younger players play, I think the Heat might actually have some more young blood on that team than we think. But the top team in the East, I think it's the Boston Celtics. On paper, it is the Bucks, hands down.
Okay. Good shit.
Okay.
Good shit, KP.
There we go. Well, one other team that's in the East that we haven't spoke about, Philly. What the fuck is like? So with whole James Harden thing, it was supposed to, I thought Dame was gonna go to Philly. To me it made the most sense, but they went a different route. So he didn't go to Philly. Not in a not So as of now, has not been traded to the Clippers. Not in Miami. He's not wanted by Houston. It's the list of teams that not really interested in his services is growing, And then also on top of that, it's been reported that he's not going to be at media day. Um, you know, so where do where does it, where does Philly go from here? What do they do?
Playoff, what you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I think right next to having the worst offseason, I think it's obviously Miami because Miami was counting on getting Dame, but I think right next to them is Philly because the Philly front office is not only trying to put their team, not only focus on putting their team in the best position to win a championship, but at the same time they're fighting this battle because they know if they don't make the necessary moves to take this team to the next level, then Joel Embiid is going to be requesting a trade very soon. And so, like, what moves are there to be made? I agree with Zen. Like, I really felt like, and I never really understood. I think it was just an optic thing as far as Dame wanting to go to Miami, so it would feel like it was his team, quote unquote. But to me, it made much more sense for him to try to get to Philly to play with Embiid. But obviously, we see how that all ended up. But it's like, what moves are out there for Philly to make to improve this roster? And I just don't see it at all.
Tone?
I'm kind of with playoff. It sucks for them. One thing I will say, okay, how KB kind of feels like about Miami. I'm not gonna count them out. They're what, Eastern Conference Finals runner ups. They made it to semis somewhat, right? Got bounced out by Miami, but that's after an Embiid injury. They won what, 2 games out of the 6-game series. It took Miami to kind of boot them out. They did make a Kelly Oubre addition. I like that for them. Don't rank me, guys. Don't get on me. But I guess maybe, if they still have Danny Green on the roster, he's healthy. He has a little bit of defense. I know he's on the older side. He's not as much of a formidable 3-and-D wing guy. I guess the addition of Mo Bamba, they haven't really been able to find a big in years, Yeah, our old friend Mo Bamba. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't get to see much of Mo either. I was kind of high on him. I kind of was wishing we kept him at first, but listen, our roster, everything works out for a reason. Yeah, I guess they have Montrez, but I'm just not going to count them out. Embiid was what, MVP runner-up, or did he end up winning?
No, he won. He won last year.
Okay,
he won last year.
He won last season.
The fake MVP. They gave it to him. The here you go. The here you go. Damn MVP.
Right. I like that one, playoff. I like that. It just sunk in. I guess adding Patrick Beverly. Look, our other old friend Patrick Beverly. I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna count him out. This is so every time you name an X, that's what Zen's gonna do. But there's still competition somewhat, and I would say I'm leaning against the East as the weaker conference. So you have Miami, you have Philly, you have Boston, you have Milwaukee. I can't think of too much else. Maybe Indiana you can kind of throw in there. They're still gonna hang around with or without James, to be honest. I'm very high on Tyrese, and he's just gonna keep ascending, to be honest. Like I said, Joel has to be kind of healthy, but like playoff said, oh God, I feel so bad for James because he is, somebody said, I don't know if we were in a playback or a Purple and Gold Minds space one of these days, but he is the girl that nobody wants, and he's playing pick me. He's front row, front stage, throwing his brassiere, throwing his panties on stage, and he's not being seen. I hate that for him. He's not what he used to be, but he's still very much serviceable. But I wish he would honestly stay and try to work it out, if for nothing else, for Embiid, for the fact that you have a roster that can actually do something, again, like I said, in a weaker conference. Granted, listen, Miami and Boston are in your way, and the probability of you kind of knocking them out is slim to none, but you had a chance. You had a chance last year. I think you build off that momentum and go.
So Tone, you literally just said James Harden, like all the homies just ran through James Harden and just about to just toss him to the side. You
Nah,
just said he just got ran
nah,
through.
Harden is like that.
Respectfully.
Harden is like that strong face stripper at the club, the one that struggles to really get the customers and like follows the customers around
Hello.
trying to get a dance.
Hey.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like
The one that should be working the day shift.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It's like nah, that's not it.
Okay, we going on James too much. Okay, y'all going in on my guy James too much.
It's the truth. He put himself in this position. He put himself in this position.
He did. Technically, he did.
He has been the problem child
for a little while now.
Exactly.
Going on
He's
2-3
a problem child in
seasons.
Houston. He forced his way out of Houston. He goes to Brooklyn, which is what everybody, like that was his dream scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And then he forces his way out of Brooklyn to go back to his boy Morey in Philly. And now we see what's unfolding. And he's the poster child for just quitting. He's a quitter, class A quitter.
Man, and I hate that for him. But he's taking player empowerment to another. I don't know if KB wanted to get in here real quick. I don't know, KB, can you agree? And Nick Nurse to me isn't having that.
Y'all tagging me in yet? Because Okay. So we talking about a man who went from one of the up and coming stars that was on the 2013 Thunder team with KD, Russell Westbrook upcoming. He goes from there to Houston, where he had a pretty decent career. Goes from there to the Nets to play with your quote unquote buddies / friends, which I didn't know Kyrie Irving was a friend. Just saying. Playing with KD, who didn't like you at all because they thought you hogged the ball most of the time. And you were supposed to be a super team there. Then you go from the Nets to the Sixers, playing with arguably one of the best big men in the NBA and Embiid. I will give him that. He is the former or reigning MVP, sorry. Yeah. And I just don't understand how he's crying wolf again. So it's like you're basically telling you're in a relationship. Or you're in a relationship. You guys probably been together about 2-3 months and doing it's not you, it's me. But it's the opposite. It's not me, it's the team, it's them.
Yeah.
I'm not the bad. I'm not the bad guy.
Every time.
They are. And every single time he's been traded, he's been crying wolf. So for me, I'm just being honest. I would not want him as a GM. I wouldn't want him on my team. I don't care if it's at the cost of picks. If anything, he about to be when he said he wasn't showing up for media day, good. The last thing they need is more drama. They knew you didn't do anything last year, so why do they want to hear from what you're going to do this year since you want to leave? It makes zero sense to me. So with Harden, the more teams he gets traded to, the more respect I lose for him. Like, I don't understand how you're trying to say you're up there with those guys. You're up there with the echelons of like Hall of Famers and shooting guards. I don't see you as that. I just don't. Like, your best version of you was when you played for the Rockets. That's it. Not the Nets, not the Sixers. That is it. And now we got to question your weight? Man, come on, bro. You're supposed to be a pro athlete. It's funny that I got to question your weight. But I mean, my take with James Harden is he's a joke, man. He's a joke.
Go ahead.
I feel like there is a move to be made potentially where, like, Harden, like Philly and Miami just swap Harden and Lowry straight up for each other. But I just don't see Spoelstra dealing with Harden's BS. I don't see it. They run a really tight ship there. I mean, especially when it comes to being in shape and making sure your body is top notch. And I mean, we've heard Harden talk a big game about, like getting in shape and having his body like really in the best shape possible. But I don't know. I don't know if that would actually work. But I think the money might work. I'll have to check with Tony on that. But yeah, man, it's It's sad. It's sad to see for sure.
It's also it's a good idea, playoff. If he goes to the Heat, I know Jimmy Butler's not taking that. I know Eric
Oh yeah,
Spoelstra's not taking
exactly.
that.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? I mean, they'll hold him accountable, but it's the fact that James Harden has done this to multiple teams. I can see
Yeah.
2 teams,
Hey,
but this is going to be your 4th team. This is
I,
weird.
I will just say this: if he goes to Miami, every stripper in the 305 is going to enter a higher tax
Those are the
bracket.
real winners.
This is where
Those will be.
this is where I'm worried, Zen. Like he's more focused on them strip clubs and having his jersey retired there than he is getting a banner, bro. Like I don't understand that.
Hey, which I sometimes you might not be able to blame him. And shout out to all the daytime strippers. We don't mean any disrespect. Sometimes lunch is the best meal of the day. So I just want to say that. But hey, we'll see where he ends up. Some other news. Reggie Bullock, he is getting bought out by the Spurs. Veteran player. They're Spurs, that's Wemby's team. They are not in a win now mode. It's win when Wemby's ready, and we're just going to get Wemby ready. So, is it possible that he could be the 15th man? We do have one more roster spot, and we know how it goes. Anytime there's a notable player available, we say, "Hey, could it be the Lakers?" Now, I personally like the idea of Reggie Bullock. I will just look Max Christie in the eye and say, "Fuck them kids. You're a kid. Kick rocks." Sorry, if he loses his spot in the rotation, if we can get Reggie Bullock on a vet min, I think he's going to go to one of 2 teams. I think it's either going to be Milwaukee, or it's going to be Lakers.
Yep.
KB, tagging you in again. What you think about Reggie Bullock with us, or if not, where you think he'll go?
Hell no. Keep him away from my team. Do not bring Reggie Bullock over here. We don't need him. If anything, bring up one of the rooks who are not going to get that much playing time and let
Fuck
him play
them
one.
kids.
Listen to what I'm saying. Yeah, let me finish it out though. Bring one of the guys up from the G League team and let them play in garbage minutes. Let them play in garbage minutes. It's not going to anybody we get for the 15th roster spot. 15th. We ain't even talking about the 13th or the 14th. We talking about the 15th. Like none of those guys with the last 3 spots on the team, they're not getting any playing time. So I wouldn't rather not waste Reggie Bullock's time and not do that. Get him over to Miami. Get him over to the Celtics. Get him somewhere else besides us, because it kind of.
Oh, we lost KB.
We lost KB. That's what he gets for talking that bullshit. Look, it's fuck them kids. All right, fuck them kids. So we can get Reggie Bullock. There's a reason why we have an open roster spot available. It's not full, so I'm just saying if there's a chance. But Retro, Mr. Playoff, how you feeling about Reggie Bullock?
Man. I don't think it's a bad idea necessarily. Okay, there goes KB.
My bad. Sorry.
No, you're good. I don't think it's a bad idea. I just feel like I remember Reggie Bullock's previous stint as a Laker and how that went, and it did not go that well. He forgot how to.
How do you feel about his Dallas stint? His most recent stint.
Exactly. Like the running joke is that when a shooter joins the Lakers, they forget how to shoot.
Yeah.
And I think the idea of Reggie Bullock is better than what Reggie Bullock is in reality, unfortunately. And so it'd be great to have a shooter that could space the floor, really change and change what the offense looks like, and just give AD and Braun additional space to work. I mean, we all would have loved for it to work with Malik Beasley, who is now a Milwaukee Buck, ironically.
Yeah.
We would have loved to see that work and to see him really be able to elevate the offense or take it to another level, but it just didn't work out that way. So Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think the idea of Reggie Bullock is better than what he actually is in reality. But KB, what were you saying before? You got kicked?
I was just saying, yeah, I just don't think the last three guys on the team are going to do anything. I don't think they're going to produce for the team. They're not going to get that much playing time. So I'd rather not waste a veteran that has an actual skill set that a team might need with us. And even though we can probably get like have a Malik Beasley moment, I hope we don't, because that was based on family ties because he had some stuff going on with him there mentally because we literally have fans terrorizing his freaking mentions against his family. So
Yeah.
I'm literally, I'm just hoping wherever he goes, it's great. If he comes to the Lakers, then great. But I just don't see a place for him to get playing time.
Tone.
To me, it's kind of like what KB's saying now is like how I feel about JHS. I'm so annoyed like when people put out projected like lineups and what our depth will look like. JHS is not seeing that damn floor unless everyone on the team, the first 5 to 7 men, break their leg mysteriously. JHS is not seeing the floor, and neither is Reggie Bullock. I'm with KB all the way. I don't want to see that man. Kiki Palmer, I'm sorry to this man. I do not know this man. No disrespect. He is a NBA player, and I'm sure he'll be serviceable or valued somewhere else. I am okay. He is not necessarily needed. Thank God we did what we were supposed to do in the offseason, covered our wing depth. Even though Jay Vando may not be a shooter, we still got TP. We have D'Lo, who's a shooter. We got Gabe, who's a shooter. I'm not with you, Zen. I am so sorry. Leader, captain of the ship. Fuck your thought. I am high on Max Christie. I'm taking Max Christie over Reggie. Another thing I was gonna say is I actually seen a couple of like potentials, maybe more towards the trade deadline type thing after All-Star break. Maybe Alex, kind of not necessarily being disgruntled, but Chicago kind of just sinking. So he might become a trade piece for Chicago. They might put him on the chopping block. Kelly Olynyk. I'll take those two over Reggie any day. Any day.
Well,
Kelly
Kelly.
Olynyk would be a nice piece, and I also was going to say, stay tuned for the Vandalorian. He's been in the lab with.
In the lab.
Yep, been in the lab with Phil Handy. I think that 3-point shot's going to be somewhat decent. I'm not expecting him to shoot more than 35%. 35%
At 35,
for the
I
year.
like 35.
Right at 34, 33. That's all we need. That means he's hitting basically 50% of the threes in the corner. That's all we need. But carry on.
Well, one thing that did happen this week, or just a couple of days ago, last few days of September. I don't know why this even was a thing. I guess they're so excited for the season that they felt the need to talk. But Rob Pelinka and Darvin Ham had an intro to the season press conference. I don't know what the fuck that is. They could have just said this shit at media day, but they felt the need to talk. To me, they said a whole lot of nothing. They said some interesting shit, so there are some takeaways. Some of the stuff that they talked about, they said that when they were committing to AD with the contract extension, they had conversations with him about him committing to the team, about being a leader, stepping up and being a leader of the team, and also really doing better with his body and preparation of his body. And they also wanted him to be the hardest worker. Rob said that he's trained more this off season than ever before. He did cross training. Darvin Ham said that he is leaner, stronger, and more explosive. And to be honest, look, everyone knows I say a lot of shit about AD.
Really?
And I'm hoping yes, rumor has it. Rumor has it. But you know what? I like what they said in that part. I do like, because one of the things I mentioned a lot in our Twitter spaces during last season is, AD was the person that said on a TMZ clip how he doesn't touch a basketball until August. But for now, it's a 180 where it's like, yo, he's been training the hardest, and then physically, the videos and images that we've seen of him over the summer, he definitely does look leaner. So hope, and then him training his body. cross country, that's one of the best workouts for anyone, or cross training, cross training. So, um, one of the other things that they spoke about, they talk about the position battles. Darvin Ham, he said he didn't really want to have a mindset. He didn't really want to have a vibe in the during training camp where guys were like competing, like trying to do like mano a mano, like I'm going against you type of thing. He wanted like camaraderie and a brotherhood. He said that there will be many different type of lineups. Playoff. I know this is going to be. This might give you some PTSD. He did mention small ball, which Darvin Ham loved him some small ball.
Oh yeah.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
Dun dun dun. He talked about having a big lineup with two bigs. He said there will be times that Austin is at the point. He said there could be situations with Torian Prince at the two. Some other notes. He said LeBron is training like he's a rookie. D'Lo, they did say that there's 4 guaranteed starters, and D'Lo is one of the guaranteed starters. And another note, that Rob Pelinka said that Austin Reeves has the Mamba gene. He's no nonsense. He's all about the work. I know that I just threw a lot out. Any takeaways? If anyone saw the press conference, any thoughts from the press conference? And you can target any of the stuff I just mentioned.
I do like that. As far as the starting lineup is concerned, the 4 solidified spots, D'Lo, Reeves, Braun, and AD. I do like the idea of letting Vando and Rui battle it out. Because I do think I can see the benefits to having either in the starting lineup. Although my preference is Vando for sure. As far as providing that defensive edge and kind of setting the tone from the start of the game. So I'm excited about what that battle is going to look like and how it turns out. And I think like you said, when we first started talking about this, Coach Ham and Rob Pelinka didn't have to say anything. They could have basically waited until media day. And I think the fact that they were so excited to kind of come out and kind of talk about this roster and how it's shaping and what it looks like, I think it bodes well for the season. I think there's a just a level of excitement and a buzz around this team. We're not having to deal with the issues from the previous off seasons about how we're going to approach getting, making the roster fit, and trying to get, members of the team off the team. It's just, it's refreshing to be able to go into a season knowing that, you have high aspirations. Obviously I think this is a championship or bust season for us. And the way this roster has kind of unfolded with the offseason, kind of digging into Darvin's comments, I feel like we have a lot of flexibility about how we can approach it. We can play big if we need to. We can play small if we need to. And the possibilities are endless. So I'm just excited, man. I'm excited to see what this season looks like and to see what this product actually looks like on the floor and how it comes together.
KB.
Oh man, so y'all know when it comes to Rob Pelinka, I'll give him his flowers for what he did for this offseason. The thing that I don't like is after he has a huge offseason, he likes to give this sort of soliloquy slash monologue about how good these players are, how good this roster is, what we're going to be doing this season. My biggest thing is the same thing with Darvin Ham over here co-signing. I understand what the Lakers have been through from going through one season having Russell Westbrook, misusing him, having a downward spiral of a season until we traded him, waiting until the middle of the season to try to go into overdrive. LeBron gets hurt. You guys know the deal. With this new roster, we now have a supporting cast, but with what they're talking about and what they're planning on doing, it kind of seems like the same thing like last season when we did get Russell Westbrook. Oh, we have all these, we have this person, we have these pieces. We're going to be a very good team. Let's not talk about it. Let's just be about it. That's it. I don't think Rob Pelinka knows the difference. Like, he likes to talk about it, and when we don't produce it, he'd be like, well, guess what? They had you fooled again. I believe in this team. I love this team. I just don't like when my head coach and GM just start doing monologues like this is a dope / elite team. We don't know how good they're going to be. Let's just wait and see. Let's just wait and see. That's where I'm at.
Tony, did you watch the press conference?
A little bit of it, yeah, somewhat. KB, Rob got to be bougie. He want that diva treatment. Don't count him out. All eyes on him, low key. When the time comes. Remember last year it was a guards league. Oh, help me! When he said that, I was just so confused. I will never forget that quote. It's a guards league. But what I will say, I like to me, they're just kind of trying to set the tone. I think they're excited. To me, I think it was a sound to be heard across the league to fans, opposing teams, coaches, organizations, however you want to label it. We're locked in. We're definitely locked in. Our ticket is there. There's no rescinding. They worked hard to get these assets, especially I like how he kind of went in on Christian Wood a little bit. Like, he knew Christian Wood was a target and he was going to work diligently, but yet patiently. And to KB's point, now, no cameras, no lights. It wasn't a lot of reports, in my opinion, coming from the Lakers side about that acquisition they were trying to, go after. But now, they landed it, the nails in the coffin. I like a lot of the confidence to me. And I would say kind of like not a bromance, but he gave Darvin to me like a real pat on the back, like the trust he has in him, the belief of Darvin's system and what he can do and bring out of players. Unfortunately, it didn't work for Russ. But I mean, Darvin kind of held his own and said, look, facts over feelings. And he tried his best having 3 different superstars. And I think they're kind of, again, setting the tone like, okay, what happened last year was last year, where we have a team that we like. We're building on the chemistry. We're building on the fact that these pieces that we brought in towards the end of the season had us high in the defensive rankings. We're a couple of shots away from making a NBA Finals after 3-4 months of playing. D'Lo even had a sentiment, I think, in their what is the word I'm looking for? But basically the press conference after their losing game, like, hey, catch us at training camp. If I had training camp with these guys, this is a whole different story. And to me, it's just Rob and Darvin just kind of pushing that sentiment, adding fuel to the fire. You got to water those flowers and watch them bloom. So I will give them a little bit of grace this year. It's not Rob again, trying to be a diva. Lights, camera, action. Let me put my makeup on. I think they're really high. They believe what they're saying. They believe in what they put together, and for a couple of seasons to come. Not just today alone. Not just a guards league last year, and not the AARP team they put together a couple of years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I don't disagree with the press conference.
You know who Rob Pelinka reminds me of? When someone is going through the 12 steps, and shout out to everyone that's in recovery. No, that shit's not easy. He's like, I think the first step is like, getting forgiveness, asking for forgiveness for all the people you wronged. He's like that one person that just, goes to each person that he wronged and asking for forgiveness, but he won't shut the fuck up. Even when like he's like, okay, man, we're good. Nah, man. Look, man, you don't know about that time I picked, I stole your wallet and used to steal your wife's underwear. Just all the shit. It's just like he'll just start oversharing stuff that you didn't even know he did. It's just like, all right, stop. That's who Rob Pelinka, like, maybe it's the slick back hair. I don't know. We'll see.
You want to be the real Godfather, not Pat.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, we got media day. By the time this episode comes out, media day would have happened yesterday. So we are going to, we'll be covering Media Day, probably on Twitter, definitely on our new daytime lake show. We're taking that over to the AMP platform, Amazon AMP platform. It is it's PGM on AMP. Still same daytime lake show, but we're going to be integrating music and comedy as well. So if you haven't already, please download the On AMP app by Amazon, and we're going to debut on Tuesday. Yeah, we're going to debut on Tuesday, so it's going to be dope. We're growing. You guys already know we end every episode talking about what we're watching. KB, you know what? I'm gonna get to you last, KB, because Tone, have you been watching Love Is Blind?
Oh shit.
Look at me and look at my face. I look like
Yeah.
I watch some shit.
Oh
I do not
man,
watch no damn reality TV, child.
oh man. All right, we'll get to you in a minute. Playoff. What you watching, man?
I kind of answered this previously, but I'm doing a Suits rewatch.
Yes. So where are you at on Suits?
I am on season 5, I believe. And I think
Shit. Okay, I'm on season 2.
Yeah, so I love that show when it actually was airing live.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know, I was just looking for something to watch, and I was like, hey, let me go back, because I really fell in love with that show, and I thought it was pretty good when it was on. So running back through that, and then I'll probably I was late to Breaking Bad and that whole series, and I really ended up loving it. And so after I finish Suits, my plan is to start Better Call Saul, because I've heard that's really good as well. So
yeah, Better Call Saul. I watched like the first couple seasons, then I lost, then I kind of like just went out of it. Right now I'm watching Ozark on Netflix.
Oh, nice.
I've never watched it before. I'm in like
It's about time.
Episode 7. I think episode 7 of season 1.
Okay.
The show is fucking crazy.
Great show. It's a great show.
I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. But
you're gonna love every single character on there, dog.
Oh yeah, I'm loving it so far. I am loving it so far. As soon as we finish recording, I'm gonna fire it up. But one show I've been watching is Love Is Blind. And KB, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but I'm just gonna say this about Love Is Blind. There's a phrase that some Black women have used to describe Black men, and it's a phrase that it's not the nicest phrase. It's Tone. The phrase is "niggas ain't shit," and I'm just gonna say this.
Oh my god!
The reason why that phrase exists is because of people like Uche. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, it's just like he's the reason why the phrase "niggas ain't shit" exists.
I appreciate you holding your fellow men accountable.
Yes, he is the embodiment of niggas ain't shit.
We don't claim Uche. We do not claim Uche.
Hey,
we are not claiming Uche. Uche, just you're making us look bad out here, man. You're making us look bad.
Hey, Black men don't cheat,
man.
bro.
Black men don't cheat.
Dang, playoff, really?
Black men don't cheat.
Black men don't cheat.
Respect it.
Out Uche.
Respect it.
Out Uche, you are fucking it up. So yeah,
for everybody,
bro, for everyone,
for everyone. Just no. Shame on you, Uche. But yeah. Tone, what you watching?
I'm not gonna lie, I gotta sit this one out, Captain. I waved the white flag. I ain't watching TV. TV's been watching me. I'm tired. Outside of
it's all good.
College football on Saturdays, NFL Sunday, Monday, Not too much, but I'm gonna come with some super hot fire one of these days, so I can keep up with y'all in y'all conversation. I just can't believe it's men that know more TV than me. I'm just so far out of the loop.
Hey,
Yeah,
you
well, this
gotta.
is the season where I'm not coaching, so I got all the time.
There
Understood,
you
understood. I've
go.
been playing
There
games.
you.
I've been on the sticks now. I done
I'm about
downloaded
to get
Stick
back on that
Roll.
too.
Okay. What else?
Yep.
I was just I've been playing a couple things. I've been playing a couple things. Oh, I got 2K24, so I'm trying to get reacclimated. So that's what I've been doing a little bit.
Right
Good
on.
for you. Good for you. Well, so folks, here it is. We're gonna just gotta let you know right now. This is actually part one of episode 13. We got a dope conversation with the comedian Niles Abston. So that part two will be dropping on Thursday. Yeah, we got a fun game, 23 questions. It's gonna be dope as fuck. 23 questions, PGM style. You guys, yeah, like you want to know the answer if Kevin Garnett, if 6'11" Kevin Garnett tells you that your woman tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios, how are you responding? Find out find out our answers on part two. Okay? Find out our answers. Okay? So, look, you guys know the vibes. Thank you for listening. You can follow us, Purple and Gold Minds. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, YouTube at Purple Gold Minds. So yeah, you guys know the vibes. Thank you for your support, and the season is here. The season is here.
All right,
Good times
everybody.
coming. We will see you for part two. Thank you very much. Peace.